Hello everyone, welcome to Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services. It's a video on daily news and editorial analysis, which I'll be covering from the Hindu and Indian Express. The most important news and editorial of the day that is relevant for both prelims and mains examination perspective will be discussed in this session. Let's get started with the news topic list. Today is 31st of October. The first important news that is all about C295 aircraft, which is going to be indigenously developed in India. This is from the explain page of the Indian Express. Second, India GCC group likely to start the FTA pact negotiation. We'll see the detail about this as well. Third, anti-superstitious law in India. This is from the text and context page of the Hindu. Fourth, OneWeb satellite will enhance the rural connectivity. And the last is an editorial, the extra constitutional delusion of Raj Bhavan. This is with regards to the recent controversy that has arisen from the Kerala government and the advice that was given by the Kerala government. So apart from the news and editorial discussion, at the end of this video, there will be MCQ based questions. These questions will be based on current affairs that will help you for the upcoming prelims examination. So without any further delay, let's get started. And before I begin this session, those of you who are new to our channel, do not forget to subscribe Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services on YouTube. If you like this video, if you find this video informative and helpful, do press a like button. Starting the session with the first news, that is all about C295 aircraft. Something important for General Studies Paper 3, that is achievement of India in science and technology, Indianization of technology, and development of new technology. So recently, the Prime Minister of India has laid the foundation stone of C295 aircraft manufacturing plant in Vadodara in Gujarat. So the name of the venue become important. This is in Vadodara in Gujarat. For many other competitive examination, they can directly ask you, right? So which is a private company that is manufacturing it in collaboration with the Government of India PSU. So Tata Airbus Consortium will be manufacturing this transport aircraft for Indian Air Force. And just to remind you that this is for the first time that any kind of military aircraft will be manufactured in India by a private company, that is Tata Air by Consortium. And it is also for the first time that the C295 aircraft will be manufactured outside the rule. You know that Government of India is inclined towards and vocal about Make in India initiative, जहाँ पे गवर्नमेंट की कोशिश है कि आत्मनिर्भर भारत डिफेंस सेक्टर में की जाए. उसी कंटेक्स्ट में ये काम की जा रही है जहाँ पे C295 जैसे बड़े एयरक्राफ्ट जो कैरियर एयरक्राफ्ट होंगे उसकी इंडिजिनस मैन्युफैक्चरिंग की जाएगी इंडिया में. The manufacturing unit will cater the export of the transport aircraft and also for the additional order that will be given by the Indian Air Force as per the requirement. Now this is the image of C290 aircraft. The state-of-art technology has been incorporated in these helicopters. Now something important that you must know about the C295 aircraft. So this is something 56 aircraft for India that is already decided by the Government of India. A truly Make in India program that is partnership between the Airbus and Tata. So this is a collaboration. This is again relevant for the examination purposes. It says a versatile and efficient, a real multi-role aircraft operated in short and unpaved runway. And when talking about Indian technology, indigenous self-protecting system from Indian BCL and BDA. It's a joint collaborations, right, from the Spain, and India. It will be assembled in India with 40 aircraft will be there, and 16 initially will be coming with the assembled from Spain itself. Industrial footprint की अगर बात करें, final assessment by the line and supply chain with a capacity of 12 aircraft per year, operated by Tata in the same standard with Airbus, with the final assessment or assembling in the Spain. Boosting India aerospace sector with 15,000 high skilled jobs and even indirect jobs in the next 10 years. So these are some of the important part after the manufacturing unit is set up in India. And even the transport capacity will increase 71 stops, 50 paratroops, 5 standard pilots and 24 healthcare unit are the part of this that is going to be developed in due course of time. Now original productions of C295 की अगर बात करें, so this originally was produced in Spain by a company or a manufacturer called CASA. This is Consortium Aeronautica's SA, and the company now part of Airbus. So this has been merged with Airbus, and the aircraft manufacture take place. The manufacturing unit in its a plant which is based in Spain. And in December 2021, India has signed 21,935 crore deal with Airbus Defense and the Space to procure 56 unit of C295 aircraft to replace Indian Air Force aging Avro 748 planes. This is again important. Even for examination, a direct question can be framed that C295 को कौन सी plane से replace की गई है, right? So the craft will be Avro 748 planes, which entered into the service in 1960, right? Now, under the agreement, Airbus will deliver the first 16 aircraft in flyaway condition, जो कि ready to conditions में आएगी, and even the final assembly will be there in Spain itself. Subsequently, उसके बाद जितनी units आनी है, like although 14 units will be there, total 56 is there. So initial 16 will be coming there, and remaining the 40 which is there will be coming, and this will be assembled in India by the Tata Advanced System as a part of industrial partnership between the two companies. The 16 flyaway aircraft are scheduled to deliver to Indian Air Force between September 23 to August 25, and the first Make in India aircraft will be rolled out in manufacturing facility in September 2026, and the remaining 39 will be produced by August 2031. So this is the entire roadmap how the production unit in India specifically will take place. Now, some technical specification of C295. I'm not getting into deeper on the technical part of it, but some basics that you must know from examination perspective. So C295 MW is a transport aircraft, right? And it can carry up to 5 to 10 ton of capacity with a maximum speed of 480 km per hour. And there's a rear ramp door with the quick reactions and paradrooping of the drops and cargo. So this is an advanced feature which is added. Strokes, takeoff, landing, and semi-prepared surfaces for other feature is also there. Specific other technicalities की बात करें, they will be put by the Airbus that a cabin dimension of 12.7 meters and 41 feet high of 8 inches deck will be there. The company claimed that the aircraft has the longest unobstructed cabin in the class that can accommodate 71 seats. The company also claimed that C295 aircraft can carry more cargo than its competitor with a direct off landing through the rear cams. So these are some of the specific features and technical features about the C290 aircraft. Now terrains that C295 can operate, अगर C95 की बात करें 295 की किस तरह से ऑपरेट करेंगे, क्या क्या इसके एडवांस फीचर्स होंगे terrains के. Airbus said that C295 can operate in a Brazilian jungle, Colombian mountains in South America, and desert in Algeria and Jordan, and the Middle East, the cold climate of Poland, Finland, and Europe. Right. So there's a basic idea to get you a handful idea about how the capable this particular aircraft is, so that it can operate in any weather, in any season. The aircraft has slow in the military operation in the Chad, Iraq, and then also in Afghanistan. The role of C295 aircraft that it can perform, it can have a tactical transport aircraft which can carry out troops from a logistics supply from the main airfield, and even it can put forward the operation field in the country. It can operate on a short unprepared air staff, that is it capable of taking a short takeoff or landing. अगर बात करें STOL, दोनों इसमें possible है. These are the capabilities that C295 carries with it. It can operate from the short strike, that is 220 feet long, and it can fly a low operation tactical missions at a speed of 110 knots, right? So these were all basics about the C295. Even if you get any question either in prelims or for any other competitive examination, you will be easily able to answer that. Now, India GCC group likely to start a free trade pact, something important for General Studies paper 2, under the subtopic important effects of policies and politics for developed and developing countries on India's interest and India's diaspora. India and Gulf Cooperation countries members are expected to start the negotiation of FTA, अगर free trade agreement की बात करें. So India and the GCC country will be the country that will be having FTA agreement next month, and this will aim to boost, this is expected to boost the economic ties between the two regions. GCC is a union of six countries, six Gulf countries, which include Saudi Arabia, UAE, Qatar, Kuwait, Oman, and Bahrain. India has already implemented the free trade pact with the UAE May this year. So अगर UAE की बात करें, in light of a proactive role that is taken by India, we have already started with the United Arab Emirates. These are the countries. Map work यहाँ आपके लिए काफ़ी important है. Make sure you are thorough with the map work. Any question can be framed in the prelims examination. So this is Saudi Arabia. Now even UPSC can ask you to arrange from north to south, right? So this was a trend that has been followed in the UPSC questions. So starting from south onwards, this is Oman, UAE, Qatar, Bahrain and Kuwait. Accordingly आप हर एक कंट्रीज़ के अरेंजमेंट देख लें, कौन सी कंट्री किस कंट्री को नेबर करती है. इस तरह के सवाल आपके प्रीलिम्स एग्जामिनेशन में काफ़ी रेलेवेंट होंगे. Now, trade potential, according to expert, the GCC region hold a huge trade potential with a trade agreement that will further boost India's export. और GCC market की बात करें, this is unexplored by the domestic exporter and hold a huge potential. GCC has emerged as a major trading partner for India. There is huge potential for increasing investment between the two regions. Now, India's import and export की अगर बात करें, India import predominantly has a crude oil, natural gases जो कि हम Gulf country से basically import करते हैं. The two nations that hugely contribute here is Saudi Arabia and Qatar. Now, what are the things that India's export? क्या क्या ऐसी चीजें जो export की जाती हैं इंडिया से? That include pearl, precious and semi-precious stone, metal, imitation jewelries, electrical machinery, iron and steel, and even chemical that are sent to these countries. Now, what is the value of export and import between India and GCC? So, according to the data which was there by the Commerce Ministry, India export to the Gulf countries has increased by 58.26%, right? And the value is about $44 billion for 2021 and 22 against 27.8. So, this is the increasing trend that we have seen between India and the GCC countries. Now, the share of these six countries in India total export has risen to 10.4% from earlier 9.51%. Similarly, अगर import की बात करें, it has seen an increase of 85.5%. जहाँ पे value पहले 59.6 हुआ करती थी. Now it has taken a toll of $110.7 billion. Now, the share of GCC members in India's total import has also rose up to 18% from earlier 15.5%. So this data is relevant for optional if you're writing a relations between India and GCC members or like group of Gulf countries, तो आप इस तरह के data वहाँ quote कर सकते हैं. The bilateral trade has increased, like this is close to $154.7 billion from earlier that is $87.4 billion. Now, World Bank report की अगर बात करें, World Bank has quoted the data with regards to the trade. So, according to a November report by the World Bank, India got 87 billion in the foreign remittances in 2021. A largeable population of Indian citizens residing in the region. Of this, a sizable portion come from the Gulf countries, that is GCC. Saudi Arabia was India's fourth largest trading partner in the last fiscal from Qatar, and India's import is 8.5 million per year for the LNG and other import की अगर बात करें that include cereals to meat, fish, chemical and plastics. Kuwait was 27th largest trading partner of India in the last fiscal, and UAE was the third largest trading partner in 2021 and 2022. So I've given you the minute details. If a question is framed specifically in the mains examination, you will have ample data to quote in the answer. Now moving to the other news, that is anti-superstitious law in India, something important for general studies paper 2, government policies and intervention for the development of various sectors and issues arising from a design and implementations. So a brutal murder of two women as a part of ritualistic human sacrifices was reported in Kerala district. This is Pathamatha district in Kerala, and this was a shocking news that has shocked the entire India. So chilling details of the killing has sparked a debate about the prevalence of superstitious belief, black magic, sorcery in the state of Kerala. In the absence of comprehensive law, that is a lack of law that is there in India, to counter such act, the call for a strict anti-superstitious law has grown in our country. Why I'm discussing this news? Because in mains examination, this type of question can be framed, and even for the case studies in general studies paper 4 in ethics, this is very much relevant, right? Now, are such killing common in India? How frequent is this killing? So we have data that is reported by the National Crime Record Bureau. As per this data of 2021, 6 deaths were reported linked to human sacrifice. That is like with witchcraft, that is black magic motivated for 68 killing. A maximum number of witchcraft cases that has been reported was a state of Chhattisgarh, followed by the state of Maharashtra and Telangana, other states. So 3 states, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh and Telangana. Now Kerala has seen 2 sacrifices recently, and India, it has saw 88 death due to witch hunt, witchcraft, or like you say black magic, and 11 died as a part of human sacrifices. Now इंडिया में किस तरह की लॉज है? एज आई टोल्ड यू, देयर इज नो लॉ एट द सेंटर लेवल, देयर इज नो सेंट्रल लेजिस्लेशन. हर स्टेट गवर्नमेंट ने अपनी रूल्स बनाई है. सो इन इंडिया देयर इज नो सेंट्रल लॉ, राइट? देयर इज नो लॉ दैट इज पास्ड बाय द पार्लियामेंट एक्सक्लूसिवली that deals with the crime related to witchcraft or black magic, superstitious or cult inspired activities. Now in this, the national legislation की absence की होने की वजह से स्टेट में अगर ऐसे केसेस रिपोर्ट किए गए हैं तो स्टेट ने अपने एंड पे विचक्राफ्ट के जैसे एक्टिविटीज़ को रोकने के लिए कुछ रूल्स रेगुलेशंस बनाए. विल सी द स्टेट्स दैट हैव एक्चुअली कम अप विद द रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशन. So state that have come to prevent this witchcraft or black magic. So the state of Bihar, the first state to enact a law to prevent witchcraft and identification of women as a witch and eliminate the torture, humiliations and killing of a woman, right? So Bihar was the first state, and the Prevention of Witch Practices Act come into the state in October 1999. Now, any individual who identify a person as a witch or add and identify will be taken by the imprisonment, jail hogi unko, and even a fine of 1,000 rupees or both can be there. Now, the other state that were part of the law making was the state of Jharkhand. झारखंड ने 2001 में प्रिवेंशन ऑफ विच प्रैक्टिसेस एक्ट को बनाया, एंड इवन उसके बाद छत्तीसगढ़ वाज वन स्टेट और द वर्स्ट अफेक्टेड स्टेट फॉर द witchcraft practices has also come up with the rules and regulation. Now, as per the law, person convicted for identifying someone as a witch can be sentenced up to 3 years for the rigorous imprisonment and fine. और इसके अलावा और भी स्टेट्स हैं. बेसिकली अगर उड़ीसा की बात करें, सो आफ्टर द डायरेक्शन दैट वाज गिवन बाय द ओडिशा हाई कोर्ट, a law was enacted to the witch hunting in the state, and a law named as Odisha Prevention of Witch Hunting Bill was passed by the Assembly in 2013. The bill provides for the penalties to the witch doctors or even a person claiming to be the black magicians. In Maharashtra, the Maharashtra Prevention and Eradication of Human Sacrifice and Other Inhuman Evil Aghoris Practice or Black Magic Act of 2013 were passed with the anti-supervision activities, जहाँ पे कई ऐसे एक्टिविटीज़ की डेथ पे रिपोर्ट की गई. उसके बाद महाराष्ट्र गवर्नमेंट ने इस तरह के रूल्स को पास किए. Rajasthan has enacted the Rajasthan Prevention and Witch Hunting Act of 2015, providing effective measures for the menace of witch hunting and prevent the practice of witchcraft or even the black magic. तो ये कुछ स्टेट्स हैं, आपको स्टेट्स के नाम पता होने चाहिए. आई हैव टोल्ड यू ऑल द स्टेट्स दैट हैव कम अप विद दिस लॉ बिकॉज इट इज़ एसेंशियल. अगर सेंट्रल लॉ नहीं है तो स्टेट के पास अपनी लॉ होनी चाहिए इसको रेगुलेट करने के लिए, बिकॉज लॉ एंड ऑर्डर इज अ स्टेट सब्जेक्ट, राइट? स्टेट सब्जेक्ट के अंदर आती है, तो स्टेट की एक प्रोएक्टिव जिम्मेवारी बनती है कि वो इस पर रूल्स बनाए. नाउ असम ने भी ऐसे रूल्स बनाई है, दैट इज असम विच हंटिंग प्रोहिबिशन प्रिवेंशन एंड प्रोटेक्शन एक्ट विच received the president SN in 2018 to prohibit. Now the latest was passed by the Karnataka, where the Prevention and Eradication of Inhuman Ill Practices and Black Magic Act was passed, and this come into effect in 2020. The law banned several kind of practices related to black magic, superstitious, forcing a person to walk on a fire or a religious festival. किसी भी तरह से कोई भी ऐसी inhuman activities को पेनलाइज की जाएगी, and even an imprisonment is a part of the rules and regulation. Now, OneWeb satellite will enhance the rural connectivity, something important for General Studies Paper 2. Government policies and intervention for the development of various sectors and issues arising from its design and implementations. So during the address of Man Ki Baat program, the Prime Minister described the simultaneously placement of 36 OneWeb satellite into Earth orbit, and this is a great achievement for India in terms of satellite and communications. He said that the move will strengthen the digital connectivity across the country, and it will help the OneWeb satellite even to the remotest area that will be easily connected to the rest of the country. Again, a milestone achievement for the country where we have such satellite that is named as OneWeb. Now, OneWeb first launched with India की अगर बात करें, OneWeb is a global communication network that is provided by space enables internet connectivity for business and government. The India's Bharti Enterprises is a major stakeholder of OneWeb, and in this a dual contract, OneWeb plan to put another 36 satellite with NSIL in 2023. So these are some of the future plan of India. OneWeb used a pattern of Russia's rocket, but protect against the Russia's war, even जो Russia Ukraine में war चल रही है, that is in collaborations with Indian Institute. OneWeb satellite are arranged in 12 orbital planes with 49 satellite in each. So these are the peculiar features of OneWeb. And the each satellite payload function as a Ka and Ku band, which enable the data transmission, and Ku band user frequency with 12 to 18 gigahertz range, while Ka band user frequency into 26.5 to 40 gigahertz, enabling the bandwidth. तो कई बार बैंड के बारे में भी सवाल पूछे जाते हैं, किस बैंड की bandwidth ज़्यादा है, तो make sure you are thorough with this. Opening up of the space sector, the Prime Minister said that after the opening of the space sector, a revolutionary change can be seen. Domestic industries की अगर बात करें, startup are taking place. A big innovations in this technological achievement is something that India is leaping forward with. The non-governmental companies are again getting the facility to launch their payload satellite through in space as well. तो अगर बात करें इसरो की, कई इसरो के कमर्शियल आर्म्स हैं जो कि इस तरह की एक्टिविटीज़ को एग्जीक्यूट करते हैं, उसमें इन स्पेस एक बहुत अहम चीज़. Now moving to the editorial of the day, the extra constitutional delusion of Rajya Sabha, something important for General Studies Paper 2, that is the functions and responsibility of union and state, issues and challenges pertaining to the federal structure of our country. Now what I'm going to discuss under this editorial, first talking about the theme. The theme is about the power of governor, and there are three important subheads that I'll be discussing in detail. The first is function of the appointed governor. Samsej Singh versus State of Punjab की judgment रही है Supreme Court की, and there are other judgment also we'll see, and addressing a concern. So recently the Kerala governor has pushed the Kerala government, that is led by the left democratic front, into a legal and political trouble by withdrawing the pleasure vis-a-vis the continuations of Kerala finance minister. I think most of you must be aware of this news, जहाँ पे केरला के जो गवर्नर हैं उन्होंने अपनी प्लेजर एक वहाँ के जो फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर है उनके खिलाफ विड्रॉ कर लिया. उन्होंने कहा है that I feel that I should be withdrawing a displeasure against a minister. Now इस डिस्प्लेजर को विड्रॉ करने के बाद कई लीगैलिटी की इश्यूज है, कॉन्स्टिट्यूशंस में पावर ऑफ गवर्नर की बातें हुई हैं. So that has again come into the limelight, and even you can expect a question in the mains examination directly, specifically for all the students who have PSIR and public administration as an optional, although it is very important for the general studies paper 2 as well. Now let's see what are the constitutional provisions with regards to this. So there's article 164(1) of the constitution that says that the ministers are hold office during the pleasure of a governor. Now this was made more apparent when the governor sent a letter to the Kerala chief minister asking him to act against the state finance minister who, according to the governor, has ceased to enjoy the governor pleasures. Now the chief minister in his decision has declined to take any actions against this minister, and there's a debate that has arisen between the power of the governor and the discretionary power of a governor. The functions of the appointed governor, क्या क्या functions होती है एक appointed governor की. So the function of the appointed governor is always subject to policies of the elected government and not vice versa. Article 163 की बात करें, the council of minister must aid and advise the governor. This is a very important point to be noted. However, according to Article 163(2), the governor can act in his discretion in certain manner permitted by the constitution, right? And by the constitutional expert, it is being argued कि जो recent में केरला के गवर्नर ने decision ली है, that is out of the context, out of the ambit. This would mean that the governor is generally bound by the aid and advice of the central cabinet, expect there's a legitimate right to invoke his discretion. तो डिस्क्रिशन एक ऐसी एब्सोल्यूट टर्म हो जाती है कई बार सुप्रीम कोर्ट के लिए भी, एंड इवन फॉर द गवर्नर केसेस, दैट दे हैव टू फॉलो इट डिलीजेंटली, राइट. आर्टिकल 164 की बात करें, विच कंटेन द प्रोविजंस and relevance with regards to context of Kerala cases, a letter is insensible from Article 163 perspective. Therefore, it follows an unusual cabinet or the chief minister advice for expulsion of a minister, and governor cannot cause the exit of a particular minister or withdrawing the pleasure, because there's a constitutional safeguard, there's a constitutional mechanism that has to be followed. Now, Samsher Singh versus State of Punjab के केसेस में सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने क्या जजमेंट दी थी? सुप्रीम कोर्ट की जो 7th बेंच की जज थी, दिस वाज अ कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल बेंच ऑफ द सुप्रीम कोर्ट. इट इज हेल्ड दैट the president and the governor should exercise their formal constitutional power only in accordance with the advice of the minister. Either it is the council of minister in the central government or the council of minister in the state government, right? With no exception in the situation. This is what the Supreme Court has categorically noted in Samsher Singh versus State of Punjab judgment. The Supreme Court ने कुछ extractions भी दी, जहाँ पे B.R. अम्बेडकर की जो introductory statement थी कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन असेंबली की, जो कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट असेंबली फॉर्म की गई थी 1948 के टाइम में, वेयर इट से दैट द प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ यूनाइटेड स्टेट इज नॉट बाउंड टू एक्सेप्ट एनी एडवाइस रेंडर्ड टू हिम बाय द सेक्रेटरीज. तो यूएस में इस तरह की पॉलिसीज नहीं है, एंड इवन द प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ इंडिया विल बी जनरली बाउंड बाय द एडवाइस विद द मिनिस्टर. तो इंडिया में इसकी प्रोविजंस को चेंज की गई, और वहाँ पे उस टाइम पे जब कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट असेंबली फॉर्मुलेट करती, जब कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन बन रही थी इंडिया की, तो ये बात रखी गई कि इंडिया में ऐसे प्रोविजंस नहीं होंगे. And the president of United States can dismiss any secretary at any time. This is about the US. Now, president of India, the Indian Union, has no power to do so, and so long his minister is command as a majority in the parliament. Now, the constitutional bench ruling in the Maru Ram versus Union of India in 1980 has stressed that the governor is the formal head and the sole repository of executive power, but he is incapable of acting except in accordance with the advice of the council of minister. तो गवर्नर बिना काउंसिल ऑफ मिनिस्टर के कोई बड़े डिसीजन को नहीं ले सकते until वो उसके डिस्क्रिशनरी पावर पे, और डिस्क्रिशनरी की भी एम्बिट उस कॉन्ट्रडिक्शन पे नहीं आनी चाहिए जो कि ऑलरेडी कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में डिफाइन है, जैसे यहाँ पे आर्टिकल 163 में ऑलरेडी डिफाइन. Now, addressing a concern, the governor office is a colonial origin. This is what the expert has to say. And the Government of India Act 1858 situation a post of the governor under the supervision of the Governor General. Subsequently, the promulgated Government of India Act 1935 was enforced to come into effect on 1st of April 1937. Earlier this act, the governor were to act based on the advice of the provincial government. Now, moving to the MCQ questions of the day. Before I proceed, just to tell you the answers of yesterday's questions. For first question, the correct option is C. For second question, the correct option is C again. Today's MCQ for practice, आपको बताना है new umbrella entities के बारे में. Only those entities that are owned and controlled by the citizen. At least 3 years of experience can be the part of the segment of NUEs. No foreign investment is allowed in the NUE with the existing guideline. Another question is with regards to electoral bond. All nationalized bank in India are authorized to encash the bond with a validity of 15 days from the date of issuance. These bonds are remittable at the designated bank account of the registered political parties. So these are some of the important questions that will help you for the upcoming prelims examination. If you have any other concern, you can let me know. I'll be more than happy to assist you. For time being, I'm signing off. Thank you so much for watching this video.